Hello my dears, and welcome back to my corner of the internet. I'm Shannon, and today I've got another video to share with you guys. Today I wanted to do two things. Number one, I wanted to tell you about the books that I desperately want to read before 2023 ends. The year is swiftly coming to a close, so I've got to get moving on these. And also I wanted to talk to you a bit about what you guys can expect in December, and also just kind of get feedback from you about what you want in December. So first we're going to start with the books. I don't have too many, thankfully, but there are a few I want to get through. First we'll talk about the three ARCs, the advanced reader copies that I want to get through before the end of the year that come out early next year. So let's just do it. The first one is a book called One of the Good Guys by Araminta Hall. I hope I said that name right. Anyway, I'm going to read you the blurb. It says, a propulsive and twisty page turner with razor-sharp socio-political insight, One of the Good Guys asks, if most men claim to be good, why are most women still afraid to walk home at night? Newly separated from his wife and desperate to escape the ghosts of his failed marriage, Cole leaves London for a fresh start in the countryside. He accepts a job as a wildlife ranger and settles into his cozy seaside cottage, relishing the respite from the noise, drama, and relentless careerism that curdled his relationship along with his mental health. Then he meets Leonora, the reclusive artist living next door, and is instantly charmed by her warm and gentle spirit. But as the two forge a connection on the cliff's edge they call home, two young women activists raising awareness about gendered violence disappear while passing through. Cole and Leonora find themselves in the middle of a police investigation and resulting media firestorm as the world learns of what happened. And as the tension escalates, they quickly realize they don't know each other that well after all. From the critically acclaimed author of Our Kind of Cruelty and Imperfect Women comes an urgent psychological thriller about gender power and how both are captured in contemporary media. And I thought that just sounded so good. What I learned about this book too is that it's published through a publisher that's run or was started by Gillian Flynn, who wrote like Gone Girl, Sharp Objects, many other books. So I thought that was interesting. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading this and telling you guys about it. Next up we have The Guest by B.A. Paris. I've only read one other book by her, and I think it was called The Prisoner, and it was a bit of a flop for me. Like, it wasn't terrible, but I had higher expectations for it. But I enjoyed it enough that I'm looking forward to reading more from her, so we got this one coming up. And it says, in The Guest, some secrets never leave. Iris and Gabriel seem to have it all. A beautiful home in the British countryside. Again, in the British countryside. A daughter happily working in Greece, and good friends Laura and Pierre from Paris, who they often vacation with. But when a young man has a tragic accident in a nearby quarry, Gabriel is the one to find him and hear his final words, leaving Gabriel with a guilty burden. As Iris tries to help ease her husband's trauma, they acquire an unexpected house guest. Laura has seemingly moved in after her husband's revelation that he has a child with another woman. Iris and Gabriel insist Laura stay as long as she needs, but Laura keeps wearing Iris's clothes, following her every move, and asking her about the recent death of the young man. Their only respite from the increasingly tense atmosphere in their own home comes from a couple new to town expecting their first child. But with them comes their gardener, with a checkered past. With fractured relationships and secrets piling up around them, can Iris and Gabriel's marriage survive? So I thought that sounded interesting, and I look forward to checking it out. The final arc I have here is The Book of Love by Kelly Link. Now, let's see. The Book of Love showcases Kelly Link at the height of her powers, channeling potent magic and attuned to all varieties of love, from friendship to romance to abiding family ties, with her trademark compassion, wit, and literary daring-do. Readers will find joy and and a little terror with an affirmation that love goes on even when we cannot. It's like that alone. I'm like, yes. Yes. I don't even need to know anymore. Plus the cover's lovely. Like, I'm just all about it. So the next few books that I've got to read before 2023, and some I definitely have to read. Let me show you. First of all, I want to read One Day by David Nichols. This was lent to me by my good friend, and she loves this book, and I'm going to do a reading vlog on it. I saw the movie back when it came out, and I can't wait to read the book. But let me read you the blurb here. I need my glasses for this one. It says, it's 1988, and Dexter Mayhew and Emma Morley have only just met, but after only one day together, they cannot stop thinking about one another. Over 20 years, snapshots of that relationship are revealed on the same day, July 15th of each year. Dex and Em face squabbles and fights, hopes and missed opportunities, laughter and tears. And as the true meaning of this one crucial day is revealed, they must come to grips with the nature of love and life itself. I love the movie. It's got Anne Hathaway and Jim Sturgis in it, who I loved from Across the Universe. And I need to read it. I need to read it. The final three I want to talk about today are all books that are going to be talked about on my podcast. So I have a bookish podcast with my very good friend Krista Emter, and we read a book, we take a gummy, and then we talk about the book, and chaos ensues. Anyway, next week, in a couple of days, I'm going to go film the November episode, and in this episode, we're talking about the book Orange as Marmalade by Fran Stewart. Why are we talking about this one, you might be wondering? Because you've probably never heard of it. It's a long story, but to make it a short story, she came across a copy a year or two ago because her aunt was like going through her old books and giving away the ones she didn't want to keep. So Krista went through, picked the ones from that pile that she would like to keep. Now her cover looks much more intriguing than mine, if we're being honest. So she picked this for November's book. It's a mystery. It's a Biscuit McKee mystery. Which I was like, oh, Biscuit, is that the cat's name? Even though, like, clearly the cat's name is Marmalade. No, Biscuit is the woman's name. I'm 2 chapters in, and I feel like this is going to be a 1-star for me, but we will see how it goes. And if you want to hear us talk about it on the podcast, go to Instagram, look up THC Library, which is the name of the podcast, and in the bio you'll find the link to the Spotify where the podcast is. Our December podcast episode is going to be talking about, and I know, if you've been around here a while, you've heard me talk about this because I've read it probably 10 times. Christmas at the Vinyl Cafe by Stuart McLean. If you want to laugh, if you want to cry, if you want to get wrapped up in the holiday spirit, this is the one. This is the one. It's the one, you guys. And the January episode of the podcast is going to be How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. I love Grady Hendrix so much, and I haven't read this one yet. So I'll be reading it in December before we record the January episode of the podcast. And I'll probably also do a book talk video on this one. So if you're not interested in the podcast, you'll still get a full dedicated video on how to sell a haunted house. So you guys, those are the books I'm going to try to finish before the year ends. I don't know where the year went, but we're knocking at 2024's door already. So before I go, I did want to talk about December in general. Look at this. Look at this little doggy. Trixie. Trixie. She's like, I'm not listening to you. Which is fair. Anyway, I've done Vlogmas for the past 7 years? 6 years? I don't know. And I will once again be doing, I don't know if it'll be Vlogmas. There'll be vlogs, but I think there's also going to be other, look at her, other videos. So I think maybe a vlog every second day, and then maybe a book related video every second day. Maybe I'll talk about my favorite Christmas books or new to me Christmas books that I've just read. So they'll also, I'm just now realizing what that means. That means I'm going to be adding more books to the books I need to read in December. That's okay. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, I would like to know, like, does that sound good to you? A mix of vlogs and book-related videos? Would you prefer just vlogs? Let me know. I want to make sure you have a great Christmas season with me here on this channel, because that's always since I've started YouTube in 2016, spending Christmas with you guys here every day on the channel has become such a part of my holidays. So let me know what you're interested in seeing. And yes, that's gonna do it for me for tonight. I hope you're having a great weekend. And I will see you guys again very soon. Bye.